Hello everyone, I'm back again with this time it's going to be a better video than the last one. Last time I was just kind of thinking up of tips on the spot to help you guys building, but this time I came prepared. So this one should turn out better overall, and I'm sorry for the disappointment of a video that I put out last time. So let's move on with 7 tips to help you guys get better at building. If you guys ever want to play on my Shibuya map, we host a server link every Wednesday over on my Discord server. Links in the description, so see you there, hopefully. Without further ado, let's move on with the tips. When looking at people's builds, I noticed something a lot of them have in common. They don't have any curves, just blocks. While this might be easier to do, curves bring out the best in your builds, especially if they look clean and smooth. Be sure not to use curves though if it's like blocky in the reference that you are using, which I will go to move on to references later in the video. When having 2 objects with the same texture, they can sometimes begin to glitch out, which can make your builds a little bit sloppy. Pause. To fix this, all you have to do is set your increment to the lowest number possible, mine is preferably 0, and then you can move one object slightly over or under the other object where it looks even. So it looks clean, textures don't glitch out, and it looks very smooth. This can help bring out the best in your builds because, you know, let's be honest, glitching textures doesn't really look all too appealing. Something I noticed with a lot of builders, even experienced builders, is that they use the same increment when building. While this may be your increment that you like using, it doesn't mean it's the best. Some levels of detail require smaller increments, while others might require larger increments. For example, using a bigger increment is better when spacing out builds to make them look even, and just overall, if you're building a big structure, use a bigger increment. When building, you might notice that your map is taking up the storage and real fast. To fix this issue, just make the most of it. It's a simple thing to do, and you don't want to use all of your storage. It can really bring down your build, and especially if you have further plans for it, like more buildings, more detail, etc. Being efficient with it is the main thing. When building maps, try not to stack objects, as when broken they will have a dramatic effect on the lag in your build. Fixing this issue is easy and simple, you just have to make sure you don't stack them often. Keep in mind though, sometimes it's impossible to avoid this, for example when you're building curves, they might stack. Something I see a lot is people using other people's maps as references. Don't do this. Make sure to use a reliable reference. For example, if you're building something IRL, use something like Google Maps, Google Images, etc. It's more reliable than you might think. If you're building something from a game or from an anime, it might be harder to do the same, but it's not impossible. Keep in mind, gathering references can take a bunch of time, but they are important to making sure that your builds are accurate. The final tip, tip 7, is keeping yourself distracted. While this might be a small tip, it's very important. When building, you will soon realize that it takes a lot of time, hours in fact. Do not be put down by this, since this is normal. Something I personally do is I put on music, or even a podcast. I put on something that could distract me. It's a simple distraction, something that can leave your mind on autopilot, and can take away the stress from building. Like I said, anything can help. Music, a podcast, maybe a video in the background, or even being in a call with friends. That said, that is all the tips that I currently have. I hope you all enjoyed watching this, and I hope it was better overall than the last video. If you have any questions, suggestions, or just have any feedback, let me know down in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer them and to meet you guys' expectations. Till then, see you later.